everybody, it's Ashton with Visit Delaware, and today I'm here at Mount Cuba to celebrate the start of spring. We have a lot of beautiful flowers that are now coming into bloom, so we're gonna get an awesome tour and kind of see what there is to offer. So our tour guide today is Katie. How's it going? So Katie's gonna go ahead and give us a tour of the gardens here. So what can we expect to see?
We can expect to see beautiful trilliums in bloom and other spring wildflowers, and plenty of activity down at the ponds with all of our frogs and toads.
All right, awesome. Well, let's get started.
One of the really nice things about Mount Cuba Center is that because our gardens are native plants and support native insects and animals, you can hear a lot of activity. So you can hear woodpecker right now, lots of bird song, bees buzzing. And it's important to note that even though we're in a really formal looking garden area, these are still all native plants.
Oh, okay. So things that you can't see other parts of the country.
Yes, they're unique to our area. So we're here in the South Garden, and as you can see, it's a beautiful formal area. The beds here are perennial beds. These plants love to get blasted with sunlight.
The blooming of the flowers, does that really depend on the weather every year, or is it something that's pretty consistent?
Both. It's consistent depending on the weather. So we can offer a pretty predictable range when you can expect things will be in bloom, which is why we've timed our wildflower celebration for the last Sunday in April each year. That's reliably when the gardens are near their peak. One of our goals is to encourage our visitors and those who are inspired by our mission to plant native plants in their own yard. But sometimes you need to know what to plant or what one's going to do best. So we plant different cultivars or selections of native plants side by side and compare them throughout the year. We're entering the Naturalistic Gardens. As you can tell already, this looks a lot different from our formal garden areas. It has more of an appearance of being in the woods, meandering paths, mulched paths, great big trees that are shading us, and then all of this activity here in the understory. Everything is really just starting to peak up over the leaf mulch. And you can see down here all these little fiddleheads of the ferns as they unfurl in springtime. This is a Dutchman's breeches. And so if you look at the flower itself, don't they kind of look like little pantaloons? Yeah. Some trilliums have really faint scents because instead of trying to attract butterflies, they're trying to attract ants to pollinate them.
Okay. Yeah, that does not smell great. It doesn't smell like a rose.
No, not at all. Fortunately, their scent is very light unless your face is really right in there. You have to get down really close to see them, but it's totally rewarding. They have this beautiful pale blue and white flower with a yellow center.
All right, so I think that we found a great selfie spot right here at Mount Cuba. So behind us we have the Quaker Ladies, which almost look like snow on the ground. So they're very tiny but cute. So we'll have to get close to them, make sure they look good. And 3, 2, 1. We got it. So how many acres is Mount Cuba, and I guess all the gardens here?
So the gardens that you can explore are around 20 acres. The paths that loop around the gardens are about a little around a mile in length, but it's up and over some hills. So we've got our little bog garden here and our footbridge. Now these are plants that really, really like wet feet. That's an incredibly rare Delaware native called Helonius bellata, but that's something that's here in our springtime pond gardens. But these gorgeous tulip trees that we have along our woods path are about 60 years old, and as you walk down they form a colonnade on either side, and it produces this cathedral-like effect when you walk through.
All right, so thank you so much for joining us today at Mount Cuba with Visit Delaware, and also thank you, Katie, for being an amazing tour guide. And we hope everybody is able to come visit Mount Cuba sometime this spring or summer, where everything is absolutely beautiful. All right, thanks, and tune in next time.